Manyala, the fastest man in Africa, and you're watching Side Chat with Nation. Please subscribe and keep following.
You know, it's always such a good time to come here and talk about matters sports, because I understand the need for you guys to keep updated on what is happening in the sporting world. Welcome to another edition of Side Chat with Nation. I'm your host, Nation. I wouldn't want to say a host, because a host, makes me sound like but that's a conversation we're going to be having another time. Well, today I'm going to be talking about matters golf. And if you're not a lover of golf, just bear with me for the next few minutes. I'm going to try as much as possible to make you consider loving golf and consider maybe definitely joining golf. And why am I talking about matters golf this week? It's because of the magical Kenya Ladies Open that was taking place this past week at the Baobab Course in Vipingo Ridge in Mombasa. And this is the 2023 edition of the tournament. Has attracted a total of 96 professional ladies who are coming to compete for the prize money of 300,000 euros. Some of the participants of this year's games include a couple of Kenyans who I'm going to be talking about in a matter of minutes. And just before we get into the nitty-gritties of this particular tournament, important to mention some of the activities that were taking place before the competition started, and this is relating to matters money. A lot of money was put into the magical Kenya Ladies Open, and you might be asking, why was so much money put into this? It's because of the seriousness of this particular tournament. Remember, the Ladies Open, the magical Kenya Ladies Open, is part of the Ladies European Tour that is played all over the world. So it only makes sense for big brands to come and put in money and show their passion and love for the sports. And speaking of brands, there are two brands that have been so pronounced when you're talking about matters sports in Kenya. One of them is East African Breweries Limited, who are friends of the show. They've been here a couple of times. We've hosted them. They talked about some of the activities that they've sponsored, and they still continue to talk about they still continue to support sports in Kenya. And speaking of EABL, in this particular edition of the magical Kenya Ladies Open, they pumped in a total of 15 million Kenya shillings. This basically meant that the official beverage partners for the tournament. The other brands that have become so pronounced in sports in Kenya is Kenya Commercial Bank, or in short, KCB. This time round, they put in 5 million Kenya shillings, and apart from that, they also put in a total of 1 million Kenya shillings that is going to go into the final legs of the Safari Golf Tour that are going to be taking place at the Karen Country Club and the Muthaiga Golf Club. Speaking about some of very important thing that is taking place at the magical Kenya Ladies Open, and we have to mention, is the participation of young golfers in this year's tournament. If this is the first time you're watching this particular channel, I will really highly recommend the video that I had a conversation with the members of the Junior Golf Foundation, and some of the things that we talked about was how golf is not a rich man's game, and some of the avenues that you can explore, when you want to take your young one who's interested in joining golf. I'm going to be putting cards of those two particular interviews, so you can click onto them and watch and just learn about how you can get into that. And important to mention that the following are just some of the youngsters that are participating in the junior in these years of round. Who are participating in this year's Magical Kenya Ladies Open. The first one is Jacinta Njeri, Kanana Modhomi, Ida Rose from Mombasa, and Vivienne Otunde from Kisii. The other participant, the other young participant in this year's golf tournament is Titiana Atieno from Vipingo Village, who's an alumni of the Future Hope Montessori School in Vipingo that is aimed at training youngsters who are interested in participating in golf. Important to mention that some of the developments that have since taken place at the Vipingo Ridge is the star duo of Madeline Stavna, Teresa Meleka of Czech Republic, and Joe Carvalho, Omar Lewa, and Evelyn Akinyi were some of the star duo who edged out the team of Kylie Henry, Alexandra Swain, Mina Joseph, Michelle Mohanda, and Rachel Frost after they managed to card a total of 28. They managed to card 28 and their competitors carded a score of 26. The defending Magical Kenya Ladies Open, who was leading the team of Anna Palezes and former rugby star Lavin Asego, Stephen Kiptines, and Mohamed Nyaoga, finished in third after carding a score of 26. Lavin Asego went on to pick the longest drive challenge in the men's category, while Sandra Gitere bagged the women's category in the longest drive category. And also speaking about some of the good things that happened at the Vipingo Ridge, important to mention that Kenya's finest golfer, Naomi Wafula, has become the first Kenyan to ever make the cut at a ladies European Tour event. Hearty congratulations to Naomi Wafula for that particular achievement on such a prestigious tournament taking place on this part of the world. Important to mention that two-time Olympian Aditi Ashok of India took command of the 2023 Magical Kenya Ladies Open on day 1 of the tournament. And important to mention that the 2019 runners-up, Aditi was the runners-up in the 2019 edition of the competition. The question is Esther going to retain her title this year? That's a conversation that you're going to be having later on. But later on this week, I'm going to be posting some of the highlights of the final round of the game, because by the time I was putting this together, the competition was still ongoing. Well, that is the update that I wanted to give you with relation to the Magical Kenya Open tournament that was taking place at the Baobab Course at the Vipingo Ridge in Mombasa. If this is the first time that you're watching the channel, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment down below. We'll really appreciate it in terms of improving the content of the channel. And also, if there are conversations that you'd like me to have on the channel, make sure you drop them down below. I'm going to get the relevant people to talk to you about them. See you on the next one.